investing month ya.
Ya, saya tak berapa dengar. Saya kurang dengar.
Apa cukup jelas suara saya, Ibu
Ah,
Nora?
ya, terputus-putus.
Oh, terputus.
On my part, tak apa. It's okay, kejap ya. Cuba Ibu say hello. I dengar.
Halo.
Okay. Boleh.
Oke. Tadi saya sempat kontak-kontak dengan Ibu Eka, belum bergabung ya.
Ibu Eka tidak dapat join ya hari ini. Cannot
Belum.
join.
Beliau menyempatkan untuk join rasanya sebentar karena ada
I see.
kemalangan.
Ya, betul. Ada. Dr. Ika, Ibu Ika ada inform me just now.
Ya, jadi mungkin kalaupun akan join this Zoom agak sebentar, mungkin sekejap aja.
Ya, betul.
Ya,
It's
tidak
okay.
Oke. Apakah sebaiknya kita mulai atau
I
bagaimana?
think should be okay. Ibu. It's starting to be recorded.
Ya, because in Malaysia it's for 2:30 ya. Oke, 2:30 now.
2:30. Ya,
Ya,
2:30.
in Indonesia 1:30.
1:30. Oh, belum
Ya,
masuk zuhur ni.
sudah.
Sudah masuk. Okay.
Zuhur jam 12 lewat.
Oh, you are 1 hour early. Ya, betul.
Ya. Jadi pas lah, sudah apa-apa. Yang penting kita sudah sholat
Alhamdulillah.
zuhur.
Jadi tak adalah what we call terkejar-kejar. Kalau bahasa Melayunya terkejar-kejar.
Terkejar-kejar ya.
Berkejar-kejaran waktu.
Iya.
Macam itulah.
Oke, for this meeting we have to get the class and maybe Dr. Nora. Oke. Bagusnya kita mulai ya, Ibu Dr.
Ya,
Nora
Dr.
ya.
Rita. Boleh.
Mungkin
Boleh.
kalau misalnya tidak perlu kita tunggu Ibu Eka bergabung karena saya juga
Boleh.
tidak tahu Ibu Eka
Boleh.
bisa apa tidak. Ini sudah gabungan dari 3 kelas ya.
3 kelas?
Ya. Tapi
Only
mungkin
one class.
kenapa Ibu? Maksudnya kan saya kan pegang
Ya,
ada 2 kelas. Nah, jadi saya minta kedua kelas yang saya pegang itu bergabung di sini di Zoom ini dan kelasnya Ibu Eka
I
juga.
see.
Kelasnya Ibu Eka juga kata beliau bergabung juga ke sini jika mahasiswanya bisa.
Faham. Just like last semester lah, previous semester sama jugalah.
Iya. Kan karena kan apa kesempatan jarang ya seperti ini ya bisa dapat ilmu dari dari dosen yang bukan dosen kampus kita gitu ya. Jadi mereka exciting semua lah.
Alhamdulillah kita sharing. Ada kekurangan di mana-mana saya meminta maaf terlebih dahulu lah.
Tidak apa. Oke.
InsyaAllah kita sharing mana yang patut. Ya, ilmu di dalam buku juga, bukan ilmu kita ya, kan?
Oke. Baik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon or good day everybody and puji syukur we say to Allah because in this day we can join this room for our class with Ibu Dr. Nora Aznira Razak. Thank you, Ibu Dr. Nora Aznira. You have come to our Zoom and we hope this will increase our knowledge about methodology in research. Yeah. Okay. I will give the time to Dr. Nora Aznira. Please, Ibu Nora.
Boleh. Thank you so much, Dr. Rita. Saya share screen dahulu ya. My slide. Okay, wait. I have to use the pen. Okay. We already done here. Jelas kelihatan tak Ibu?
Not yet.
Not yet. Wait, eh.
I don't know about the student. Have you seen the PowerPoint?
Can you see it?
Tidak, Bu.
Nothing.
Sekejap ya. Sekejap, sebentar. Saya cuba tutup dan buka semula. Okay. Sebentar. Okay, boleh? Boleh nampak?
Boleh sih.
Can you see it? Boleh?
Yes, we can, ma'am.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay,
Thank
we
you
can
so
see
much.
the PowerPoint. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, I think shall I start now? We already into 2:29, nearly 2:30 already, so I don't mind if we start a bit early. Alah, not so early anyway. Just 1 minit saja. So boleh saya mulakan, Dr. Rita?
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera to all the students here. So although we've met through online, I hope that here and there you can catch up with me. We can share some some extra knowledge here. Although we are using the same book for this subject, but still perkongsian itu juga sebenarnya kadang-kadang boleh membuahkan extra knowledge ya. Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you for giving me a chance to meet you all. For today's session, saya sudah berbincang dengan your lecturer untuk memilih topik ini. Topik ini kalau dilihat ya dari segi element of research design ni, because from what I understand from your docent, ia adalah main reference book yang diguna pakai oleh student pelajar-pelajar di sini adalah Umar Sekaran and Bogi
Sekarang. Okay. Yes.
2016. So although we are using the different references, we also used Sekaran and Bogi as part of our main reference as well. But however, when it comes to research methodology, specifically on research design and the rest, sampling design, and also the data collection technique, the rest of the things, the rest of the topic afterward, dia sebenarnya ianya hanya sekadar dari segi perbezaan dari segi terminologi, dari segi school of thought. Jadi jangan sekali-kali risau, jangan sekali-kali bimbang apabila anak-anak daripada pelajar-pelajar rasa macam kita tidak pernah dengar ni terminologi, harus diguna pakai atau tidak. Tidak sebegitu. Sebenarnya dari segi basic knowledge-nya adalah sama sahaja. Okay? So this is what I experienced before during my time as a first I come upon research methodology subject, which actually I'm not that fortunate like you all, because at this level you already learn about the research methodology. During my time in the 90s, kita tak ada ini subjek research methodology. Semuanya kena belajar sendiri ya, Ibu Rita.
Oh, iya, tidak ada ya.
Ya, tiada ada, tak ada. During my master level, baru I belajar, baru ada by research, dan baru diwajibkan during my degree level, which is at this level yang our students with us right now. They already have a research methodology as part of the program structure, but not during my time. Dululah tahun 90-an, but I pun dah already late 40s kan. Jadi memang tidak ada. Kalau ada sekalipun harus belajar sendiri.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the reason why I really appreciate whatever, additional of sharing session or whatsoever, be it on the most basic level, that would be most appreciated, because at least kita ada some guidance, at least kita ada some discussion, which all of us beg to differ when it comes to a certain understanding and also practice, right? Okay, kalau saya bercakap agak laju, tolong ingatkan, because I have tendency sometimes to talk quite fast. Jadi
Right.
mohon diingatkan ya.
Semangat
Okay.
itu namanya.
Jadi first thing first, before you go further into these elements of research design, mau dikatakan begini, kalau mau di-compare dengan some of the reference yang diguna pakai juga, which is one of it adalah I can't remember the name, is Vira's book, research methodology book. This different author, they have sometimes used this different terminology when it comes to research design. So kalau di bawah buku Sekaran and Bugi, dia akan pakai research design yang bermula dengan research strategies, and then barulah we go for extent of research interference, study setting, to not let you all confuse on this basic analogy, let's just put it this way, the sequence of subtopic that you have to do. So I shall stick to Sekaran and Bogi, okay, to ensure that apakah ini purpose of study? Tapi kita tidak pernah dengar ni dalam element of research design. Tetapi dia sebenarnya di kontennya itu sama saja dengan research strategies, dengan other types of, sometimes they didn't even mention pun. They just simply said, we have a quantitative research design. What does it mean by quantitative research design? What does it mean by qualitative research design? So it is basically the same, they are referring to the same thing. They are referring to the survey research, they are referring to the case study, they are referring to the mixed methods when it comes to this. So no worries, don't have to worry about, yang ini kita tak belajar lagi, no. When it comes to school of thought, dalam research methodology sangat banyak school of thought. School of thought ni means perspective of people when they go about on certain sequences of analogy in this subject. Okay, jadi I back kepada elements of research design ni. So kalau mengikut Sekaran and Bugi, research design ini haruslah bermula dengan research strategy. So because research strategy ni, when we talk about research strategy, kita kalau mau plan to achieve certain objective, certain purposes, we have to have a strategy. We cannot go just semborono like that. I don't know whether you knew the words or not. What does it mean by semborono? Meaning to say you don't have any plan. You simply go for, right? Betul tak?
Yeah.
Betul.
Semborono is the word that used to be, used there, right? What they call it? Semborono tu bahasa, kalau di sini part of bahasa
Ceroboh.
Jawa. Jauh.
Di Indonesia.
Ya,
Careless.
betul. Tapi masih diguna pakai juga sebagai part of the informal language here. Jadi kalau untuk sesi kita ini, kalau yang pernah bersama saya last semester, anda akan maklum saya akan mix around with English and also bahasa Melayu, kerana saya tidak begitu well versed dengan bahasa Indonesia. Tapi saya ada tengoklah Google Translate, what does it mean by apa yang you call as lecturer, itu sebagai dosen, and then what does it mean by bahasa pasar. Because sometimes kalau I cakap tu, I berbual itu, my conversation itu akan lead kepada bahasa pasar juga. Jadi in the Google Translate tu, they call it as bahasa informal. Itulah dia. Betul atau tidak, saya pun tidak pasti. Tapi itu daripada Google Translate lah. Okay. So kita start secara secara formalnya. Okay, kita mula dengan research strategies. So kalau di dalam research design ini, okay, kalau di dalam buku Sekaran and Bugi, kalau refer kepada your textbook, I can't remember the pages. I think it's in section 6, right? Chapter 6.
Chapter 6.
Under elements of research design, memang sudah diletakkan yang kotak merah itu, okay, di dalam figure. I already capture the snapshot. I already snapshot the ni. Oh, okay, figure 6.1. You all akan lihat yang merah-merah itu adalah part and parcel of how are you going to structure the research design in your proposal. I assume that you are going to do your proposal, you already started with the proposal part, right? Betul tidak? Atau belum bermula lagi? baru
didiskusikan, ya.
faham. Saya faham. Okey. Dan kalau begitu masih belum terlambat lah untuk masih belum membuat keputusan untuk how you go for. Tetapi for me my practice adalah because this research methodology subject secara keseluruhannya kan, overall, this is one of the subject what they call as heavy duty subject. Kalau di tempat saya ya. Okey. Student-student, pelajar-pelajar semua memang akan agak macam we call it akan agak macam wary of this subject because it contain at least 14 topics, of course, because we are referring to the main text as well. So when it comes to main textbook, of course lah you akan nampak macam tebalnya buku teks ini, kan? Okay, so we have to go through all of it, but not necessarily you have to follow through tightly, rigidly. No, when it comes to your own writing, because at the end of the day you have to come out with the proposal. You have to come out with all 5 chapters altogether, your final product, your final project, your final thesis. So the way that you write is not necessarily exactly as rigid as per in the book. No, you have to have your own style of writing as well. Jadi I'm not so sure whether your write up nanti adakah di dalam bahasa Inggeris ataupun di dalam bahasa Indonesia. Jadi kalau di dalam bahasa Indonesia juga, tetap juga you akan perlu pakai your own flair of writing. Jadi of course when it comes to me and your docent teaching you about this particularly this research methodology subject, the one that we teach you every week is part and parcel of every sequence yang ada dekat dalam proposal dan juga final thesis tu. Okay, so I shall show you some of the example towards the end of this session. But what I want you to really bear in mind that when it comes to this, when it comes to our session and the other session that you have with your lecturers, bear in mind that the one that you have now only what we call as piece by piece from the whole picture. Okay. Sometimes, okay, students, pelajar-pelajar ini, dia tidak dapat nak comprehend, dia tidak dapat nak membayangkan, imagine, what would be my writing? I harus tulis macam mana harus menulisnya, macam mana mau write up. So, the thing is, the one that we teach you adalah macam mana nak go for on the main content itu. Pilih type yang macam mana mau write up. Tapi the write up itself has to be on your own, from your own idea, but bear in mind not to leave out all the formula that you have already learned dekat dalam class, dekat dalam lecture session. Okay, so that would be my practice here. Selalunya, apart from the slides, I akan tunjuk sampel. I akan tunjuk sampel your senior sample, even sometimes my own sample, my students by research sample, because I got student by research, I also got student by classes. Okay, jadi especially by research student, they do not have any classes, but they already have to come up with proposal chapter 1, 2, and 3. altogether. And then the thing that they've learned, the thing that they write up is almost the same. It's the same like yours. The one that the one that you already learned since day one throughout this semester. This is it. You have to come up with your, proposal. You have to come up with something. Dia bukan sekadar belajar. Yeah, of course you akan ada itu what we call final test. You akan ada exam. But the thing is, you also have to come out later on daripada apa yang belajar ni hasilnya. Hasilnya ialah dalam bentuk thesis, project paper. I don't know whether they call it thesis there ataupun dipanggil sebagai project paper ya Ibu, Dr. Rita.
Proposal.
Okay. So nanti akan ada sesinya, betul?
Ya.
Sesi perbentangan kan. Okay. So same here. Sama sahaja. So di sini kalau di peringkat ijazah sarjana muda di mana sama level dengan pelajar-pelajar semua, mereka juga harus dalam 6 minggu pertama, 6 minggu atau selepas 8 minggu sesi pembelajaran akan have to come up with their proposal. However, I'm not so sure whether, because di sini we have it by group. Meaning to say by group of 3 or by group of 4, they shall have to come up with their proposal. So kalau sama di sana tu agak ringan sedikit lah, because one head 3 or 4 head school of thought, 3 students is much more than you alone have to face and write up the proposal, right? Okay. So here kalau di dalam sekaran and bugi itu, I balik semula kepada research strategy tadi. Okay, kalau dalam sekaran and bugi itu, memang kita bermula dengan research design. Di bawah topik research design itu, akan bermula dengan research strategies. Okay, there are some people yang tidak mengguna pakai research strategies punya terminology. Sometimes they call it as purpose of the study. Because however you name it, still it comes to it is a strategy, it is a plan for specific purposes. So actually at the end of the day, it bore the same meaning. Okay, jadi di sini saya mengikut sebagaimana sekaran and bugi punya style, punya topik, subtopik, tetapi saya ada tambah sedikit. Because bila di dalam sekaran and bugi tidak menyatakan yang mana satu yang kuantitatifnya, yang mana satu yang kualitatifnya harus dipilih. Betul tidak? Jadi kalau di sini kalau bidang sains sosial atau dalam jurusan accountancy, I believe your take on research proposal adalah quantitative study, using the quantitative methods. So that's the reason why when it comes to these slides, I already separate those into what would be best for quantitative research design, what would be best for qualitative research design. Okay, that's the reason why yang you nampak kat sini ni. Jadi jangan gundah gulana kerana ia masih lagi sama dengan dalam textbook, which still ada elemen yang sama di bawah research strategy itu, yang mana ada experiment, survey research, longitudinal, observation, case study. Okay, cuma saya separatekan siap-siap. Saya already separated into what would be more preferable towards quantitative study, what would be more preferable towards qualitative study. Okay, boleh follow setakat ni pelajar semua, boleh ya? Boleh semua?
Okay.
Boleh, insyaAllah. Kita niat yang baik-baik sahaja untuk belajar kan, untuk berkongsi. Okay, jadi now research design strategy for quantitative, okay, saya bahagikan kepada 3 di sini, iaitu experimental, atau you boleh tengok dalam buku tu is on the experiment part. Experiment, okay, they call it as experiment. They also call it, they also can call it as experimental. They also can call it as experimental study, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, and then survey research, which the most common one that you shall choose for your proposal. Okay, and also longitudinal. This one also kalau at your level, I think it will be Yeah, it's not that suitable for you. It's just that yang tengah-tengah itu, survey research itu adalah the go-to punya option, alright. Okay, so when it comes to these three tadi, kenapa I already put it into, okay, this is your go-to options to strategize, okay, under your research strategy, because this is the option that might be suited to your purposes, okay, might be suited to your quantitative method. Jadi quantitative research ni memanglah it's all about numbers and measurements. When it comes to main textbook like Sekaran and Boogie, and also like what we are using here, Vera et al, and also Ramaya et al. So we have a few books here, but however, the way that they convey things sometimes at the level of our students' understanding too is quite difficult for them to comprehend together or to imagine. So I sometimes, Ibu Rita, try to find other alternative of words that make it much more simpler for us, particularly to understand, so that if we understood, if we feel that it is clearer to be understood, it might go well for our students. So that would be my purpose, and I hope the simplified manner that I try to throw this particular element here can give you some insight that easier for you all to catch up. Okay, so here quantitative research ni, like all other people that study research method, they know quantitative, when it comes to quantitative, it can be quantified. It's all about numbers and measurements. So if you are interested in studying about relationships, studying about trends analysis through numerical number, through numerical data, so this is the three types of strategy that you can go to, you can adopt. Okay, the first one adalah experimental design, not experimental study. Okay, experimental design. So it can be called as experiment as well. It also can be called as experimental. It also can be called as experimental design. It's basically the same thing. Okay, so this design allows you to manipulate variables to establish cause and effect relationship. So yang ini nanti saya juga akan terangkan sedikit. Kenapa walaupun dia terletaknya adalah option yang might be one of your choice to choose, it is a bit extreme in terms of interference, in terms of the next topic nanti yang saya akan explore bersama anda semua. Okay. However, when it comes to the strategy, is one of the strategy that might be suited to the quantitative level lah, to quantitative methods. Okay, jadi di sini experimental design ni sesuai when it comes to you are strategizing to establish a cause and effect relationship. Still relationship, but it is a causal one. Okay, think of it as a control experiment where you can change one thing to see how it impacts another. Meaning to say, you are in full control on changing the variable that you have in hand in your study. So di situ, kalau saya menyatakan secara secara in advance lah, supposedly I'm not touching upon this yet, but what I can tell you, experimental design ni nampaknya di bawah quantitative, tetapi in terms of extent to researcher punya interference, dia adalah membawa kepada moderate to extreme interference. That's the reason why, although I stated it here, but still during our next subtopic nanti dia akan nampak macam, oh, this is not a suitable choice that you can go to like that lah. Okay, but you still have to know. Okay, so apart from experimental design, the quantitative research design you can go to, you can choose upon adalah survey. Survey research ni yang paling popular, paling common, and even myself I practice this one. Memang of all things, yeah, I'm nowadays I'm quite, I like to explore some more. I like to do the mixed method as well, but still I stick to this partly. Okay. Jadi survey research ni, surveys, meaning to say you are using the structured questionnaires to gather, respondent punya response, and then you analyze the patterns, you analyze the trends, you analyze the relationship that you had in your study, in your research. So surveys are your ticket to collecting a lot of data from a wide range of people, be it that people going to be your population to be studied lah. Okay, lah is the bahasa Melayu punya informal language. Okay, sometimes I have a tendency to always keep on saying that. Okay, so jangan terkejut kata what is lah. Lah is only the informal language, not bore into any other meanings whatsoever. Okay, so ini survey research. So survey research akan menggunakan pakai structured questionnaires as usual. Then I think all of you are familiar with it. Okay, already familiar with it. InsyaAllah. Okay. Okay, longitudinal study pula. Imagine, ni I bagi cerita sikit. Imagine tracking a group of people over the years to see how they change. Longitudinal study ni sometimes it can, dia macam dekat borderline tu. Sometimes it can go for qualitative, sometimes it can go for quantitative. But I put it here due to the fact that you still into the getting a response. However, it is as if the studies too taking quite a lengthy punya duration. Okay, dekat sini penceritaan dia adalah imagine tracking a group of people over the years to see how they change, be it into their own behavior ataupun their own patterns of doing things ataupun patterns of having to produce things for whatsoever purposes, and then this longitudinal study. You ingat macam, you remember this, bear in mind that when it comes to longitudinal, perkataan long itu panjang sekali. So kalau tengok long itu jangan. Itu adalah petua saya kepada student-student, kepada my student here. When it comes to longitudinal, try to avoid, okay? Because it's not the strategy that you can go for. It's not for, when it comes to one whole semester, it's only comprised of at most 5 months and a half. Okay, so of course it's not suited to your purposes unless you want to do your PhD, your masters by research. Then you can maybe make it consider this. Okay, for now, when it comes to quantitative research, which I believe is the design that you go for in your research method, in your research proposal. So survey research is the go-to option, hands down. Okay, all right. So this is it secara ringkasnya. Okay, okay. Yang type kedua, okay, adalah research design strategies for, we call it much more suited towards the qualitative studies, okay, qualitative design studies, strategies, okay. So case study, ethnography, grounded theory, and action. Sometimes we call it as action, sometimes we call it as action research, sometimes we call it as action study. That's it. So banyak dia punya terminology, but it bore the same meaning lah, the same content. Okay, so this is it on the qualitative research design, okay. So it focuses on understanding the complexities of human experience, behaviors, like when it comes to you having to, for example, do the case study. Usually, when it comes to the first one, okay, you feel that you want to do the case study. So this strategy is one of the strategy that you can go to, okay. So case study, you dive deep into a single subject, solely single subject, and explore it from every angle. Okay, it also it also takes some longer duration there. Okay, it's like zooming in on a single puzzle piece to understand all the intricate details. So I hope the sentence that I put here, puas saya cari dalam Google, how to make sure that I can explain this in a simplified manner. So I think this is simple enough. But the rest of the thing, if you want to read, you can read Sekaran and Bugi, of course. But knowing my student, I don't know about you all here, but knowing my student, the book up until end of semester is still like brand new. The reference book. I do believe it's almost the same there, is it? Is it there?
Maybe,
So
maybe.
of course I got a student that say, I still my book when he showed me the book, hey, why your book still, if I touch it as if it cut me, it cut me off, it cut my finger off. So as if you never touch it. Oh, you can also sell it not as a brand new book. See? Okay. So I do understand that. Macam-macam perangai pelajar-pelajar, ya. Okay. So the first one on the strategy part adalah case study. You dive deep into single subjects and sometimes that single subject contain maybe you want to study that single subject but from two different organizations. You compare. So sometimes it can be like that. So okay, before I go further, just so you know, when it comes to this, all strategies that happen here, that they listed here, jangan sekali-kali be rigid on, I have to choose only one. Sometimes it can combine into two. Sometimes it can, it can be causal study, but it also can be causal and hypothesis study, So itu adalah, it is just, I just put it this way, there's no one best way to ensure that you are doing the best research design in your proposal. You can go, by mixing those strategies together, but be sure that you have a justification. You have strong justification that saying, oh, I'm doing this because this is it like this, you have your own justification on why you go for, mix, for example, mixed method, for example. You want to go for qualitative and quantitative altogether. This is my reasoning. So your reasoning, you have to put it into your proposal so that you can convince the reader and as well as, of course, the examiners to ensure that, okay, so we know what you are trying to say and we got your meaning and you can proceed with your proposal. That's what it means there. Okay. So case study. Okay. So ethnography pula, if you want to immerse yourself in a culture or community, ethnography is a go-to option. Of course, you have to live among the people that you are studying to grasp the practice that they have. How about that? It also takes lengthy duration. So, okay, just so you know, when it comes to qualitative research, dia memang selalunya longer than quantitative one. It takes longer period of time. So that's what happened lah when it comes to, I'm talking about, I'm giving you one example on the PhD study because it's by research. Okay, totally, this is the kitab yang you harus habiskan sebelum you bermula dengan, the highest level of studies. You can ask your Ibu Dr. Rita on her experience on how to go, how to go about her experience of PhD journey. How long is it? And how, tricky is it, right? Okay. So when it comes to people who choose qualitative research, it usually take longer time than quantitative one. So I finished my PhD within 3.5 years. But my friends with qualitative method, they finish their PhD in ada yang 8 tahun, ada yang 10 tahun pun ada yang masih belum habis. Masih lagi. Okay. So usually the tools, even the strategies is different. This different from the quantitative one. Okay. So ethnography ni, if you want to live among the people and you want to see the pattern and design that they practice throughout their community. Okay, jadi etnografi ni adalah salah satu tools yang sesuai. Kalau you have, cuma syaratnya adalah you have to experience it yourself to ensure that this is it. This is the grasp. You can grasp the view that they have, the practice that they have, the trends that they have, to ensure that you nanti at the end of the day you boleh menjawab kepada research objective dan juga research question that you already put in your chapter 1. Okay. And the rest, last but not least, not last one. Okay, grounded theory. So I'm using the chronology that we have in the Sekaran and Bugis because in some of the book, They don't have this grounded theory. They don't have even the action research. They only have until ethnography saja. Okay, so grounded theory ni, this design is all about building the theories from scratch. Okay, if you are familiar with I'm trying to stating the basic established theory yang already or very well known in the academic worlds. For example, reason action theory. What else? TPB theory of perceived behavior. What else? TPB. And then ada itu term theory. Okay, itu semua grounded theory. Excuse me for a while. Ya. Okay, sekejap ya. Sekejap. Salah. Okay, sekejap ya. Sekejap. Tengah sesi kelas. Sekejap. Sebentar ya. Minta maaf ada gangguan. Ya Allah.
Okay, it's okay,
Ya,
Dr. Nora.
cikgu.
Sekejap, my husband. Minta maaf sebentar, saya ada emergency. Sebentar, bagi saya 5 minit sekejap.
Okay.
5 minit saja ya, sekejap sebentar. I'm so sorry for the a bit disturbed because of this emergency one. My kids punya matters. Okay, sorry. So here in Malacca particularly, our kids already in their school term. So schooling term tu habis near pukul 3 petang. Jadi tiba-tiba tidak jumpanya anak saya. The husband. Okay, but it's okay. Nanti dia uruskan. Okay, so sorry for the disturbance. Okay, jom kita sambung balik. Okay, when it comes to grounded theory, so kalau mau bercakap tentang teori ini, if we were to touch on established theory already that already been used by all scholar all over the world, kita cakap tentang TPB, kita cakap tentang reason action, kita cakap tentang Maslow, cakap tentang motivational theory. So all those theory, bagaimana dia come out? Okay, they come out through the research strategy like this, undergrounded theory. This design is all about building theories from scratch based on the data you collect. Dia tak dia datang berdasarkan wahyu tiba-tiba dalam mimpi terus keluar. Tidak. Dia adalah melalui strategi yang sebegini. Okay, it's like letting the information guide you toward new insight and concept. And that concept, if it's already been established and been used all over the world, that's what happened to some of the theory that regularly been used up as part of the basic theory in academic research all over the world. So even I myself, I quite used to using the thumb theory, the even reason action theory. Reason action theory is part of the theory that already been developed into the TPB. So of course, theory ini once it's already been established, been built up, dia akan ada development dia. Dia bukannya berhenti sekadar di situ saja, tapi dia akan develop variable di dalam teori tersebut akan menjadi lagi besar, lagi banyak lagi variable dalam ni. Due to the fact that there are lots of research that also using the same theory and developing with the new dimension of variable that they had within their research environment, itu yang akan menyebabkan the development of the established theory that we have up until now. Okay, so those few theories yang I sebut tadi, that would be the great example when it comes to you having to touch upon the research strategy that use grounded theory. The purpose of the study is to get to that. Okay, to build up new theories, to build up new concept towards new insight, atau to develop new theories. Okay, jadi of course it is also part and parcel of qualitative research, research design. Okay, action research pula ialah sometimes it shall be undertaken by the consultant, especially when it comes to the changes, what we call as change management in an organization. This is basically organization-based research. Okay, in other words, this is the research strategy that aim at effecting plan ataupun you want to plan for certain big changes in your organization. So I put some example here because lots of my students cannot comprehend what would be the action. Kenapa dia part of the strategy sedangkan dia boleh menjadi sebagai part of the case study, dia boleh menjadi sebagai part of the survey research. They argue that. So I'm saying that I give the example. So for example, it is much more suited towards, this is one of the example. I'm not saying that this is the only situation that warrants action research, but this is one of the most suited one. When we try to distinct the the differences, try to see what would be the difference between these strategies. This would be one of it. Okay, this action research focus on solving problems in social systems such as schools and other organizations. So it emphasizes on solving the presenting problem by generating knowledge and taking action. Nampak tak di situ? Okay, generating knowledge and taking action within the social system in which the problem is located. Meaning to say, they zoom on the problem, the location of the problem, and then they are going to start strategize their plan to achieve certain goal to ensure that it can be solved in whatever problem yang ada di dalam social system tersebut. Then they go for the action that suited to the problem that they had in that particular location. So that what we call as action research generally, yeah. Okay, so this is actually by far I think the most simplified manner that I can touch upon when it comes to research strategies. Kalau misalnya kita refer kepada books, our textbook, they have lots of example that they can present to you that can make you have better understanding or better insight towards the concept, each concept of the strategies that we have here. Okay, so here, okay, but the thing is, there are also, like I said tadi, just now, I did mention that when it comes to qualitative, quantitative, or we can mix both, there are no such thing as the best way to cater to, to choose upon when it comes to us having to choose the strategy that we want to adopt in our proposal. So doesn't matter kalau you want to put on, we have both strategies. We want to adopt these strategies 1 and 2 into our proposal because of this reason, so and so. So, however, you have to have strong justification on why you do so, why you have to do so, okay? So that you can convince your reader and you can convince your examiner that it is the most suitable way to do so, okay? So that's it on the qualitative and quantitative. So of course, when it comes to the thing that I mentioned just now, you can also have a mixed strategies together. I just mentioned it just now, okay? So sometimes one strategy just isn't enough in your mind, okay? I think we have some students who did not switch off the
Ya.
mic.
Oke,
Already.
sudah
Okay.
dimatikan. Already.
Dan sudah dimatikan, alhamdulillah.
Ya.
Okey, jadi mix strategies ni boleh saja di-combine antara quantitative qualitative to give you a comprehensive strategy view on your research content particularly, not only topic. We didn't actually reflect our strategies into our topic, of course, but however, to ensure that you can capture the bigger picture, you can capture the tiny details. It depends on the purpose of your study, on your goals. You want to achieve what type of goals, okay? So to uncover, you might think that, okay, by mixing these two strategies between quantitative and qualitative strategy, between experiment and survey research, between survey research and observation, might bore a better result. Then you have to justify on why you have to do so, okay? So this is it untuk research strategy. Okay, so now we go for extent of researcher interference. Okay, I did mention a bit on this just now. I know tadi masa mula-mula kita memulakan sesi tu. Okay, so on extent of researcher interference ini, my students always have this. Madam, what should I do with this? I cannot decide which degrees of interference that I should go for. I read the book first and read your proposal, your write-up first. It of course, the design of the method, the design of the research that you have, it goes back to your chapter 1. Okay, your research objective, your research question. So those two elements are one of the most important factor that might influence the choice of your research strategy, the choice of your research design as a whole, okay? Jadi when it comes to extent of research interference, kalau katalah if you already decided, okay, we go for survey research for under research strategies, which I think all of you going to stick for that, insyaAllah, okay? So of course kita dah tahu dah, kalau when it comes to survey research, it's quantitative, of course. Survey research, dia minimal because it works in a natural environment. So we are not going to have moderate or excessive interference. The process still can go along, still can run normally. Okay, you are trying to give people to answer your structured questionnaire. Is not going to bother with their natural process that they have in their environments. That's what we call as degrees of interference. Okay, so usually when it comes to survey research, the interference are minimal. Okay, so moderate excessive usually goes for cause and effect relationship. Is usually under causal studies. Okay, so jangan risau, don't worry. Your type of research design are going to be minimal interference. I rarely come upon students who write up their proposal and stated that you have the moderate or excessive interference. If they did so, if they did write up, if they choose that, I shall ask them in detail. What make you think you might have the moderate or excessive interference? Because usually when it comes to our short duration of semester and having to finish the research paper and all those things, you cannot have some complication in your research design, particularly because it shall complicate the way you do things in your next step. Okay, so minimal. The researcher usually interferes minimally with the normal flow. It won't affect excessively. It won't affect. It won't give sometimes it won't even take lots of your times even. Okay, and is usually adopted in exploratory and descriptive studies. Okay, so just so you know, when it comes to choosing the survey research, you akan your tendency towards exploratory and descriptive studies is a must. Okay, it usually adopted in this type of choices that you have, the one that I mentioned just now. So when it comes to moderate or excessive, the researcher might even want to create the new artificial setting where they can tightly control the variable. They can study by manipulating certain variable and they can control the other variable as well. So because they want to see what would be the cost, what would be if you tightly control this one variable, if I were to delete it from the framework, what would be the effect of the other variable? It means you having the big influence on the big changes that happen to the research framework that you have in hand. So that's what we call as moderate or excessive interference, and usually it's been adopted in cause and effect studies. So I believe my advice is that because yours is more towards descriptive studies, number and trends and relationships, all sorts of things, usually it's minimal interference. I got this one table from different author, not Sekaran and Boogie, but I think it might help you a lot in terms of making sure that you are making the right choice when it comes to your research design. So I think I got it here. Okay, but it's okay. We go for study setting first. So when it comes to study setting, the next subtopic after the interference is the study setting. So study setting, you have two types: contrived and non-contrived. So sometimes people state it as contrived, sometimes people state it as contrived. So it doesn't matter, it's still the same words. Okay, so non-contrived, when the research conducted in a natural environment where works proceed normally. Non-contrived is some minimal interference. It go along with minimal interference. And contrived is when research conducted in artificial environment, just what I mentioned before with excessive and moderate interference. So this is also, of course, I repeat again, this is also related to the causal studies. And then just so you know, when it comes to contrived, it's very tight. It's very tight setting, very rigid one, and usually it is related to the lab setting. Okay, the one that involved with experiment in the lab. So yang ini akan pakai contrived setting. So for us, social science, descriptive studies, exploratory and descriptive, you can go for non-contrived. We usually don't go for contrived because we are not using any labs. We're not having the rigid settings there. Okay, so this is it. As simple as I can be. So up until study setting. Okay. So do you have any question now? Ada soalan tak? So far. I hope it can give you some insight on what to choose for your research design in the future in your proposal. Tidak ada ya? Okay. So kita proceed kepada next one. Okay, ini dia. I forgot about this. Okay, I have this table. Actually, I have 50-50. In my mind, I'm thinking that should I put it in the slide or should I just simply, not put it there, but mention it just, secara browse through. But I think it might give you benefit if I were to show you this, because it can sometimes when you make a choice, into writing up your research design, it helps you a lot when you can simplify things. You can know that your choice is for certain is a correct one, is the justified one, is the right choice lah. Okay, so if the purpose of study ataupun more towards kalau ikut purpose of study ni, bawah dia tu adalah strategies lah. If you go for exploratory and descriptive, you of course you have to go for survey, apa tu, what we call as field study. Your study setting of course non-contrived setting, and your research interference adalah minimal interference, like what I said just now. So if you are into this, then you know that your study type will be field study, you know that your study setting will be non-contrived, nothing else, and then your interference will be minimal. That's it. Okay, and of course I believe that all of your proposal shall be either exploratory or descriptive one, particularly descriptive one, of course. But if you want to make if you want to make sure, if you have any if you feel that descriptive is not enough for us. Just you want to explore some more into the relationship or whatsoever, then we can go for exploratory, because I feel that the definition of the exploratory itself fit to our purposes. Then should be okay. You can put that your study is your strategy, you are strategizing into this purpose, and you are into the survey research strategies, and your study type will be field study, your study setting will be non-contrived, and your research interference will be minimal interference. Done with your research design. Okay, in your research method topic, methodology topic, because chapter 1 is for introduction, chapter 2 is for literature review, chapter 3 is for methodology. So for methodology, the first subheading adalah on research design. So this is particularly it. Okay, the first line that we have here. So correlation and causal, we could also have field experiments sebagai study type dia, and study setting dia also non-contrived. However, it can also lead kepada moderate interference because kita ada elemen causal di situ. When it comes to causal, of course, you have to see the effect. And when it comes to, you have to see the effect, you are having some influence, not to say a minimal one, but a moderate to extreme one, into sometimes having to change whatever the variable that you have, ataupun adapt whatever variable that you have in your framework. So that's the reason why they put it research interference, that it might go for moderate interference. Okay. Then purpose of the study for causal, of course, usually is excessive because it involves the rigid environment that they have. The study setting also contrived, and then the study type also more towards lab experiment. So that's reason why. Okay, ini datang daripada another textbook, not Sekaran and Buki. If you were to try to find Sekaran and Buki table of this in Sekaran, you don't have that, but you have that in other textbook of research methodology as well. So I think it might be beneficial for you to see it through, whether it can help you in finishing your proposal in the future. So that's the reason why I put it here. So I hope it can be of help to you, pelajar-pelajar semua. Okay, so now we go for unit analysis. Unit analysis ni kan memang akan agak panjang tu. I try to make it simpler, but no, I don't. Boleh. I try to make it simpler. I takut, I sebenarnya risau sedikit Dr. Rita, because when it comes to me having to touch upon this, I always have the tendency to also touch upon the sampling as well. Sampling frame, population, okay. Jadi I try to curb myself to ensure that we have sufficient time for this so that I can have enough time untuk tunjuk you all sample of the student that already have a write up on the whole research design thingy. Okay. Alright. So here, kalau lihatnya di sini, unit analysis ni refers to the level of aggregation to the data collected during the data analysis stage. But it has to be stated in your research design. Okay, as one of the subheading. Okay, so secara ringkasannya, ia adalah population to be studied. Okay, what will be your population? You nak pilih apa? You nak study individuals, you nak study diets. Diets ni maksudnya di sini adalah pairs. You nak study individual, dia still individual tapi in pairs. Okay, kalau contoh mentor and mentee, lecturer and students, itu maksud dia. Okay, population to be studied in pairs. Okay, itu maksud. I don't know how, I don't know which one is the correct pronunciation there. Is diets or diets, like that lah. Okay.
Maybe
And
diets.
third one adalah diets. Yes.
I don't know.
I
Pokoknya
also
berpasangan
sometimes
atau apalah.
I
Something like
like
that.
diet.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Berpasangan.
same.
Pair.
Same confusion here. Okay. So when it comes to population to be studied, when it comes to individuals, I believe this is not to lead you to certain choices, tapi I bagi you example lah. When it comes to the type of studies that you have tendency to choose, okay, you go for strategies, survey strategies, you go for, of course, when it comes to survey strategies, the minimal interference, the descriptive, types shall come into the picture, okay, shall be part of the choices that you have to make, that you shall make, okay. But however, when it comes to the population to be studied, it doesn't even, not to say dia tak mempengaruhi, dia tak mempengaruhi langsung, tetapi the one that you have in hand tetap juga pergi kepada pilihan yang population to be studied ni, tetap juga kamu perlu merujuk kepada chapter 1, iaitu you punya research objective dan research question, because di situlah yang akan membolehkan dan juga of course your background of study as well as your problem statement. But however, it shall be, from that part yang akan influence you towards choosing which population that you feel justified for you to be part of the respondent that you shall go for. Okay, so kalau misalnya if you tend to choose studies on behavior, perception studies, like for example the customer loyalty, customer perception towards certain product, what else, customer engagement, this is I'm talking about more on the customer part, population yang ada kaitan dengan itu, and then awareness towards certain product, awareness towards certain behavior, awareness towards this issue, for example. Okay, then you shall go for individuals. Itu kalau behavioral trend ataupun what we call as perception studies, banyaknya akan memilih individuals, public. Okay, individuals. My students selalunya dia ambil jalan mudah, I did ask, I shall ask, which population that you think is suited to your proposal? Oh, no, I think the individual is going to be easier for me because I don't want to approach company. I don't want to approach organization. It's so hard to approach them. The one thing that you forgot ialah the organization to comprise of people inside. So of course, if you studied about organization tu adalah people inside who work there. Of course lah yang akan menjawab response you punya survey research, you punya structured questionnaire tu adalah people yang represent the organization. Yeah, of course, the process of having to opt to see them, having to make an appointment, having to make a letter to ensure that you have the permission is going to be a bit hustle-bustle there, but still it's justified and it's worthy to be studied. Because when it comes to individuals, kita tak boleh nak kata, okay, I want to study about performance, and then my respondent, my population frame adalah individuals. What type of individuals there? So dekat situ dah kena justify secara in detail. Okay, jadi individuals ni very dia lebih kepada behavior study, awareness study, okay, the things that lebih relate kepada perception of individuals. Okay, jadi memang seeloknya kalau my student punya trend kat sini, dia suka pilih public individuals, dia suka pilih macam contoh awareness towards vandalism in Malacca. They shall choose because due to the fact that they know they can choose population to individuals, public in Malacca area, for example. Malacca is a state here, so public in Malacca area. Okay, so of course, one thing that you don't realize ialah bila you choose individuals, you akan have to mention your population frame first. So kalau katalah you buat untuk, if you stating that, I want to choose people in Malacca State. Malacca State itu sekurang-kurangnya say that they have around 9 million people. 9 million. So kena state lah kat situ. So how are you going to go for 9 millions? If you referring to the Sekaran books, you shall realize Sekaran have the sample size table, right?
Yeah.
You familiar with that? So you shall see, you shall have to approach lots of people there, lots of individuals, to ensure that you have you memenuhi, you can fulfill the sample size that's sufficient for the study that you have in hand. You can also, I'm not going to referring only to Sekaran and Bugis, but you can also referring to when it comes to your individuals type of population, you can also choose minimum sample from formula given by Hare et al. By Sekaran also. Sekaran very popular with the sample table, sample study table, and also you can also choose numerous author, okay, yang memang methodologies yang you boleh adopt for. Dan also nowadays they also have certain what we call as software that can also calculate the minimum sample size for population that you have in hand. So like my student, I also encourage them to use G-Power. Okay, G-Power ni memang senang untuk you. Kalau kata you ada, okay, this so much. Okay, they are like Sekaran referring to the formula that calculate in terms of counted the count number of size of individual, how many, okay? So by referring to how big the population is, but there are certain noted author in being noted methodologies like Hare, like this one Zhao, Walden, all the methodologies that I think well known throughout. Their tendency ada juga yang pakai formula yang merujuk kepada variable that they have in their framework. So you can also follow that type of approach. Jadi see, I dah already diverted. Dr. Rita, I dah already diverted to the sampling. Oh my God. I'm so sorry for that, but I shall stop a bit after this, going for another type of population to be studied. But I just want to mention this, that when it comes to having to choose the population, especially when you choose the individuals, okay, as your population, you shall have lots of choices. You shall have lots of choices in hand. For example, you shall have you can choose from Sekaran style of table, sampling a population to be studied. Okay, minimum sample is there, then you can refer to them. But just so you know, I already have an experience using Sekaran table. It shall not bore for a big size of population. Okay, so usually there are also other choices which formula wise they are referring to the number of variable that you have in your framework. So usually I encourage my student to choose that. Okay, and there are also software that are available, G-Power particularly, to also can be part of the calculation on minimum sample. That can be your choice in hand. Okay, so these particular things that I mentioned, their formula is referring to the number of variable that you have. If you have five variable as your independent variable and you have one dependent variable, so it counted total for 6 variable in total. So 6 variable, usually you times with 10, you can have minimum sample size into 60. 60 respondent. So basically it's like that. But of course, the population formula itself, there are certain population that need to be followed. Tapi secara simplifiednya itulah dia. Ada sedikit gangguan dari segi suara. Oh, sudah okey. Okay.
Udah okey
So
lagi.
itu dia. I already diverted a bit, but I think the sampling part later on with your docent, Ibu Rita. So I go for diets or diets. I don't know which one is more appropriate to pronounce. Okay, so when it comes to diets ni, usually, like I said tadi, it has to be in pairs. So kalau misalnya dia adalah in pairs, you have to identify the pairs, and then the joint perception on the pairs we have to perceive that particular pairs as one unit. So kalau one individual considered as one unit, tapi kalau diets ni, two people in pairs, dia akan jadi one unit. So itu agak berbeza ya dengan individual. Okay, so for example, if you referring to your Sekaran and Bogi example, I think for me, I hope in here and there between the books actually, because when I teach my student, it's not only only on one book, because sometimes I can have extra perception or extra convey of information from other books as well. But I think on this example for population to be studied here, Sekaran is one of the best. So you can refer to Sekaran on the explanation when it comes to particularly individuals, diets, groups. Jelas sangat penjelasan dia. So kalau tengok di example yang dipersembahkan oleh Sekaran dan Bogi ni, if the manager wants data from a sample of 10 pairs, okay, he will have to deal with 20 individuals, a pair at a time. So that's the reason why I'm saying when it comes to diets, if you want to choose that, if you feel that, oh, we need to choose that because our study lean towards having to study pairs, then you have to make sure that the sample of 10 pairs equivalent kepada 20 individuals. Tetapi kita consider 20 individuals tu kalau secara unitnya adalah only 10 unit. Meaning to say only 10 respondent. Okay, that's what it means that. Okay, jadi the information from each pair shall be the unit analysis of one. So kalau minimum sample size you memerlukan 50 respondent, meaning to say you have to have 100 individuals because you are using the diets population, diets as a unit analysis. Okay, itu dia untuk yang second one. And then groups, groups ini berbeza ya dengan organization. Groups ini kalau misalnya you are talking about, our research can we have a respondent into three groups of students. Grup pertama datangnya daripada kumpulan sains sosial, grup kedua datangnya daripada kumpulan science and technology, and grup ketiga datangnya dari kumpulan art and design, for example. Okay, so itu adalah three groups, okay, involved, and information, of course, by each member of the three groups shall be collected and analyzed, and analyzed. And then the unit analysis has to be per group. Per group consider sebagai satu analyze of data there. Okay, jadi the mean shall be used, shall indicate for each group. Nampak tak di situ? Okay, so not only groups as the unit analysis can be part of it, there are also can be different division. So itu pun boleh juga dijadikan sebagai part of the population to be studied, sebagai part of unit of analysis. But however, I believe that as a student at this level, you don't want anything complicated. So for me, I always advise my student, you choose either one, individuals or organization. Okay, so itu dia. Okay, itu dia secara simple, simplifiednya lah, because my student usually cannot see the bigger picture. They only want to see what they want to see from their research proposal. Okay, so of course, to try to make it easier, ini dia, individuals or organization. And then the organization wise, kalau lihatnya kalau tidak ada kalau example-nya tidak ada di Sekaran and Bugi, boleh pergi kepada Vera et al. Books. You can see Vera books. They show have this example. The data analysis will be done at the department level, that is individuals in the department ataupun individuals in an organization treated as one unit analysis. Okay, same goes like diets, like groups tadi lah. One group as one unit. So organization, one representative, one people, one organization. So I have this as my master. At my master level, I have this particular population of organization related. So person in charge to be representative of an organization is person in charge on risk management department. So can you imagine? So person in charge in risk management department itself is usually the head of department, shall reflect on becoming one unit per one organization. So it is as if when you stated your organization as a unit analysis, meaning to say you already have one person in charge that shall be the representative of an organization. So you might have to have, if your minimum sample is 100 organization, then you can go for 100 people in each organization, for under one people for perwakilan kepada one organization. Okay, itu dia. So kalau countries juga sama, macam mana mau ditreatkan. So kalau countries juga, kalau you want to study cultural differences among the nation, for example, okay, we'll have to collect the data from different countries. So of course, the patterns of culture in each country tu akan menjadi your content, you punya main study there, you punya objective there, that you shall have one country's the patterns of that culture from one countries akan menjadi satu unit analysis. Jadi banyaklah countries, tengoklah berapa banyak. But it also depends. The unit analysis also depends on which type of method of research that you want to cater for, you want to go for. Are you going for qualitative? So kalau qualitative, of course, agak sesuai juga kalau you mau pergi for cultural studies. Dia senanglah di situ. Kalau you go for trends, for relationship, for numerical type of studies, jadi of course it's more towards quantitative. So of course you can go, kalau big one lah, you can go for organization. So there's no such rigid choices that you have to be forced to make. No, there's always justification for each choice that you make. But at your level, for this type of research that you want to go for, usually number 1 and number 4 is the one that is more preferable to be chosen as your population to be studied under unit analysis. Okay? All right. Okay, I think I'm not going to pass, right? Class? Are you there? Are you still there?
Any question, class?
Any question? I think kalau I tunjuk sampel baru dia orang happy tak, Dr. Rita?
Iya.
I think so. Okay, it's
Oh,
okay.
are
It's
you
okay.
sleepy? Because it's fasting month now.
Fatimah, ya, of course. Kesiannya. Tak apa. I akan cuba habiskan on time, ya. But
Ya, tak
here
apa-apa.
and there is
Okay.
already more than 1 hour. Aduh. Okay, time horizon. And now we go for another subheading inside inside the proposal under the research design, time horizon. But time horizon is very, 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 very straightforward one. Okay, so you can have cross-sectional here. So if you usually the at this level you shall have single cross-sectional ataupun paling-paling pun multiple cross-sectional, but usually we go for one of sekali terus jalan. Tu maksudnya bahasa informalnya, bahasa pasalnya. Okay, sekali terus jalan, terus settle. Okay, we give you duration of this 1 month from April to May. This is your time untuk you carry out the data collection. Okay, so it's for that. Okay, so time horizon usually you chose for cross-sectional. Cross-sectionally, a study can be carried out in which data are gathered just once, perhaps over a period of days, weeks, or months, in order to meet a research objective. So usually, our type of study, if we were to choose the survey research strategies, we shall go for cross-sectional. Okay, and usually it's single cross-sectional. Because kalau misalnya you akan ada different period of time, different, this one batch, I decide to collect January, and this one, this another batch I shall collect at the end of the year. Okay, that would be not to say complicate things, but when it comes to your analysis nanti, you have to do separate. You have to ensure that you shall count the analysis separately. And then also your justification have to be right up also at that particular analysis section, due to the fact on why you go for different period of time, not one off. You have to justify that. So just so you know, class, when it comes pelajar-pelajar semua, when it comes to you having to, complete your research project, everything that you choose upon, you have to have strong justification. Kenapa you pilih ini? Kenapa ini? Kenapa dia begini? Kenapa dia begitu? Semua kena ada reasoning. Tidak boleh ada loophole. Okay. Yang itu baru kita katakan, oh, you have a good paper in hand. You have such a good one. A good research paper. Then tidak ada loophole di mana-mana maksudnya. Okay. So itu dia untuk cross-sectional. Jadi it might go for single cross-sectional, one off terus collect data at one point of time, ataupun multiple cross-sectional, ada different period of time. Okay, the design. But usually I would suggest you untuk go for single cross-sectional. Okay. Alright, so longitudinal. Yang ini usually because when it comes to longitudinal, like I said, the keywords is long. So the researcher might want to study people or phenomena over a longer period of time in order to meet the research objective. And usually this, you can have that for how to say this, for qualitative one. Is much more suited for qualitative one. Not to say the quantitative one is not preferable, but it's going to you are going to have your reason, and you have stated the reason in your paper on why you choose this as part of your research design. Why not the cross-sectional? Okay, that's it. Okay. Jadi ini adalah longitudinal yang memang akan ambil longer period of time nak compare dengan cross-sectional. And usually I suggest to you, if you want to go for collecting data, try to make sure that the shorter the period, and you shall have to state it what would be the period of collecting data that you shall have in hand. So that the scope is that. And it is good for you to mention the scope inside your scope of research as well, that you are doing the collecting data using the cross-sectional one within this period of January, February, as blah blah blah. The exact date have to be stated there, so that it doesn't warrant any question ataupun boleh nampak weaknesses kat situ that might lead to barriers of question from the examiner. Okay, the lesser the question that they ask, I think the much more relief you are. You akan rasa lagi lega. What we call it, tak stress lah. Okay, so ini dia sample. I'm going to give you one whole sample yang, not to say one whole sample, but I think here in the sample that I show you, I hope that you can see it. Apakah hasil yang terhasil daripada research design alone? The one that we talk when we talk about the research strategies, interference, study setting, and also unit analysis, as well as time horizon tadi. Okay, so this is one of the sample. I hope that I can make it bigger. Can you see it? Boleh nampak
Yes.
Ini yang terhasil daripada, ini adalah I think hasil yang akan Dr. Rita expect from you all. The write up. Betul tak? Betul tak, Doktor?
Strategi.
This is the final result. So if you were to go for research design, the first subheading adalah strategy, then this is one of the example that go exactly using the securrent subheading. Okay, so subheading securrent, of course they go for strategy first. Okay, so here kalau tengok di sini kan penulisannya, write upnya, according to Sanders et al., research strategy determines the overall direction of the study, as well as the methodology used to conduct the study. Like I said, however, no research strategy is, better or worse than another. So all those things actually part and parcel from the books, from the book. It's just that they revamp it to ensure that it does not count it as plagiarism, hopefully. So they started with this, and then afterwards they go for what would be the strategy that they choose. Okay, so if you want to see, I don't know whether I can draw on this or no. Oh, I cannot. Can I or not? I don't know whether I can do something with the conteng-conteng here. I have the pen here, but I don't know how to use it. Okay, so kalau you tengok dekat selepas Saunders et al. 2019, di tengah-tengah ayat itu, qualitative, quantitative and mixed method research strategy are used to direct the procedure in research design. Nampak dia sudah memulakan. Yang tadi tu consider sebagai part and parcel of the introduction first on the subheading of research design under strategy subheading. Okay, so they start with that, and then research design, and then prior to collecting research systematic, okay, to make sure, okay, survey, nampak tak? For this study yang bawah sekali, paragraph yang di bawah sekali, for this study, surveys were chosen as the data collection strategy due to the research paradigm, and okay. So a questionnaire survey of customers will be conducted to examine the relationship between, okay, this student of mine using individuals as unit analysis. However, the criteria, okay, like I said, when you want to use certain type of unit analysis, certain type of strategy, we know that this particular student already chose survey research as their research strategy. However, she also mentioned here, she shall examine a questionnaire of customers shall be conducted to examine the relationship between framework yang dia ada. So the way that you convey your research design, the one that you already prefer, the one that already choose upon, is all within this paragraph. But it doesn't mean that you have to put it, secara sequentially. Sometimes my student, dia tak go for strategy. Dia dia tidak menyentuh, dia tidak menyebut pun tentang strategi, tetapi di dalam paragraf penulisannya ada tentang the strategy that she chose or she or he chose upon. However, this student dia lebih strategize, dia lebih systematic in terms of the sequence on the subheading. That's reason why I put part and parcel for you all to, see the sample of the final product. This is on the strategy alone. Sekejap lagi I tunjuk pada you all how it goes when it comes to research design as a whole. You akan nampak ada certain student, they are not succumb to the sequence, but they shall put it, in one whole paragraph. All the research design that they choose, the 5 criteria that you have in the Sekaran book. Okay. So do you have any question on this, on the sample, on how is the plan of writing that you should go for? I think that would be, it's up to you actually, which way that you feel the most comfortable of writing. Sometimes some people, the flair is better than the others. Jadi bakat juga memainkan peranan sebenarnya, ya Ibu Rita.
Iya.
Bakat
semua orang
menulis
bisa
itu juga
menulis.
memainkan peranan. Benar. Benar. Sometimes ada certain people, they already the flair that they have in writing, they direct to the point directly. Then certain people, the flair of writing is much more flowery and a bit around the bush first, and then afterwards baru pergi kepada choices that they make in their research design. So this is
Style
one
in
such
writing.
example. Yeah, flair of writing. This is one such example that I want to show you that show this particular student did not go directly towards, the preferable strategy that she chose upon, but she decided to simply introduce first what would be the strategy, research strategy in noted scholar, various noted scholar that she read upon. So she tried to put it together to ensure that the introduction is good enough, and then it can lead to the choice that she made. So that's the reason why you can see here, dia tak ada, this student dia tak really straightforward. Stating, according to Sekaran and Bugis 2016, this research shall follow the strategy of survey research. No, ada certain student, sekejap lagi I tunjuk dekat you the type of student that go directly. Okay, this is the student that I felt the write-up is quite good. The flair of writing is quite good there. So the maturity of writing itu it shows here. I think your lecturer shall be able to identify which one is a good writer and which one is not when they already receive your proposal nanti later on, yeah. Okay. Okay. So I did also have a bad one. I did also have bad one. Oh my God. It tests my patience. It really tests my patience due to the fact that I also love to do additional classes for them. But when you got this simply one simple sentence for one subheading, you going to, lose your temper. I have that experience. I hope you don't have that kind of experience there, but I have that. So here goes. This is the one of the example that I think can be a good one for you all to follow through. This is one type of, the way that you want to convey your research, research strategy in hand. Okay, a good one. Okay, subheadingnya cantik diperkenalkan, and then ditunjukkan what would be the type that they have, what would be your choice then. Nampak structured sangat. So the structured flair of writing itu sangat-sangat digalakkan di dalam write-up of your proposal, of your research project, your research thesis as a whole. Saya sangat-sangat, I believe your lecturers semua sangat-sangat appreciate the effort that you have in making your write-up a better one. like this one. I think this student of mine, why she already the end result is like this, because she always all the time, I think, not to say all the time every day, no, but every week she come and see me and asking, is it okay if I do it like this? Is it okay if I do it like this? And then we here at UITM, the thing is, not all people are well versed in English, but the main language that we have as our project paper, in submitting our project paper, in doing our research, it has to be in English. So for some people it's okay, but for some other people who still, struggle to maintain the second language as the first one in this university, is going to be very, very difficult to them. So I really, 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 really appreciate. I believe your lecturers really, really appreciate kalau misalnya selalu jumpa and then selalu tanya, is it okay if I write it like this, or should I menambah baik, improve lagi penulisannya. Okay, kalau pada I sangat menghargai your effort, because when it comes to research, as a whole, effort itu adalah 90% for me. The effort, if you have the effort, you have no difficulties at all in finishing your research paper. That's it. Okay, so we go for another types of sample here. I hope I can provide you good sample here. Okay, wait. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ini adalah daripada student yang sama tadi. Okay. So the approach of this study falls under quantitative approach, which is appropriate for exploring and understanding the meaning individuals or groups. Okay. Harapnya jelas ya kepada pelajar semua, sebab saya cuba besarkan dia. I shall give this slide kepada Dr. Rita, so that we can share together, ya Doktor, untuk pelajar kalau sudi mau browse my slide, it's okay, just no problem with me. And then kalau melihatnya di sini, still memilih survey research, and then later based on the data. Okay, sekejap.
Dr. Nora, are you still there? I cannot hear your voice. Okay. Where is she? Sepertinya terlempar dari Zoom ya. You cannot see her in this Zoom. Okay. Oh yeah. Oke, kita tunggu ya. Beliau unable to connect. Sepertinya bad signal. If you have any question, you ask to Dr. Nora, you can ask her. Yeah. You can prepare the question from now if you have question.
Alhamdulillah. Sorry Ibu atas gangguan, ya Allah. Tiba-tiba down wifi internet di UiTM
Di
ini.
rumah?
No,
Ibu
no,
Nora
di
di rumah?
office.
Oh,
Di office Ibu.
oh office. Oke.
Itu kalau di office kan strong internet connectionnya,
Hmm.
tetapi tiba-tiba shut off
Oh,
terus. Tak tahu kenapa. Okey, saya sambung ya, Dr. Rita.
oke.
Ada mau di share. Okey. Yang tadi tu, sampel 2. Okey, kalau melihat di sini kan, oh alhamdulillah lancar. Saya menggunakan phone data sekarang. Okey, harap pelajar bersabar ya. Connection internet di sini agak problematic. Okey, so di sini kalau dilihat untuk this particular student juga menyatakan strategi di paragraf pertama dan kedua mengatakan memilih statistical yang pakai possible reason for specific relationship between variable will be drawn and model for relationship will be established as well. This is adalah dia punya penambahan karangan di situ. Sebenarnya tidak perlu untuk menyatakan, tetapi dia nyatakan di situ. These two of my students ni, dua-duanya memang play of writing dia tu, dia suka flowery. For me it's flowery. So I'm saying that you can be flowery, you can go for fruity, no problem. But as long as it can be understand very, very well, is no problem with me. Okay, so kalau lihat di bawah sekalinya, barulah dia menyatakan tentang objectively attempts to generalize the finding, and then shall be conducted in the study shall be conducted in non-contrived settings or in natural environment. So nampak tak di situ, dia tidak semestinya harus mengikut exactly seperti susunan di dalam buku, di dalam main text. Dia terpulang kepada bagaimana you convey your information, which point that you want to convey first, and those point haruslah link together dengan the content of study, the main content of study that you want to go for. Okay, termasuklah sample of your population. If you want to state, there's no problem if you are not stating your sample of population dekat sini di bahagian research design ini, because there are also other sets of sequence of subheading yang juga menyatakan sampling. There are also other subheading that we call as sampling design. So sampling design itu akan menyatakan all things that related to the sample. But here you can also state it a bit, because apabila kita menyatakan kita memilih kuantitatif, kita memilih trend, attitudes, opinions of population, we also have to state it a bit on the sample as well, right? Jadi tidak salah sebenarnya sekiranya mau menyatakan sedikit sebanyak, tetapi haruslah systematic di situ, structured di situ. Cukup sekadar menampakkan kaitan-perkaitannya, and then later on we go for more detail in the next subheading, for example. Okay, so kalau lihat di sini subheading pertama, paragraf pertama, student ini, pelajar ini menyatakan tentang memilih survey research strategi. Dan yang kedua adalah untuk mengkaitkan antara strategi dan juga unit analisis study setting yang dipilih, dan juga the field of study yang correlated dengan relationship yang menyatakan minimal interference. However, when it comes to plagiarism related software, sometimes kalau kita mengikut tentang interference, minimal interference, moderate interference, dia akan capture itu sebagai salah satu yang lead kepada this is plagiate words. Dia akan highlight di situ. So this is what the effort that these students trying to do, ialah menyatakan okay, this particular field of study that we chose upon, the interest correlated to understand the relationship without much interference. Not saying that dia kata minimal interference straightforward from the book, no. But the meaning regardless is almost the same, is particularly to lean towards the same meaning of minimal interference, just so to avoid the plagiarism stated there, that's stated in the book. Okay, jadi inilah dia one of the two of the samples yang ada. Okay, sekejap. Sampel yang ketiga, yang ini menyatakan secara letak sebagai, kalau tadi on survey research, ini adalah contoh penulisan untuk unit analisis. Kalau pelajar-pelajar melihat di dalam buku tersebut, di dalam buku teks tersebut, the unit analysis adalah sangat ringkas penerangannya. Okay, ada example-nya, yes, tetapi of course kita tidak bolehlah meniru 100%, right? So to just avoid that, so she comes up with, this is what I advise for her. Okay, you can state that this is the unit analysis that you chose upon, but only one sentence, doctor, she said. So I said, no. The thing is, you can state it directly at first, but afterwards, criteria, make sure that you justify why you choose this particular unit analysis in your research, that it can be saved that way. Itu adalah salah satu idea that I throw off to my student, which I think you can use as well. Meaning to say that the reasoning that you chose can be part and parcel of the write-up that you had in your unit of analysis. So same goes for other subheading daripada research strategy, kepada interference, kepada study setting. Also can be, you can also write up together with the justification. Okay, itu dia. So kalau di sini the unit analysis adalah the person, okay, the individuals. Jadi the thing is, these individuals that she chose upon had the criteria due to the fact that the individuals itu, kalau ikutkan individual sebagai person in charge kepada organisation, representative. So kalau ikut unit analisisnya adalah organization, tetapi dia juga menyatakan organization itu representatifnya adalah individuals, but it doesn't mean that the unit analysis that she had is the individual. Okay. Bentar ya. Kejap Mel, ada sesi sekejap. Okay, so here she already explained on the unit analysis first, and then she already explained that there are lots, there are quite a number of type of unit analysis to choose from, and by choosing it, she has to refer to the situation that she had in hand. The one that she had adalah she aimed for what? Okay, so the current study adopt organization as unit analysis, which involve the public listed company in Malaysia. So she goes back to the problem statement. If actually you don't have to simply not referring to your chapter 1. It doesn't even count it as a mistake. You can state that, okay, from my problem statement, from my background of study, it already stated that you focus on this. So hence, okay, you akan nampak, okay, this is the reasoning that she had by choosing the unit analysis di dalam writing yang telah dinyatakan di sini. So itu adalah satu cara untuk mengelakkan daripada your write up in your methodology chapter have so many percentage of plagiarism there. Because just so you know, when it comes to chapter 3, which is methodology chapter, it's so rigid up to the point that everything comes from the textbook. Okay, because when it comes to quantitative method, salah satu common features of quantitative methods, quantitative research, the research methodology is very almost the same. It depends. The one that make it a bit differ adalah the choices that we make when it comes to our unit analysis, when it comes to our research strategy, when it comes to even interference, no different at all. Even when it comes to study setting, no different at all. So the one, if you have chances like this to try to make it a bit personally on your content, so ini adalah salah satu cara yang terbaik lah untuk you menulis. Okay, so kalau nampaknya di sini, she justify on why she choose the unit analysis that she had in hand. Okay, but it also depends on the problem statement, on your research objective, on your research question in chapter 1. Just so you know, chapter 1 is very, very important. You silap di situ, you silap lah throughout the way. Okay, throughout the chapter. Okay, so ini dia salah satu yang I feel contohnya agak baiklah penulisannya untuk unit analysis subheading. Okay, right. So ini adalah salah satu lagi. Yang ini adalah daripada penulis pertama tadi yang bercakap tentang strategi. The most flowery one is her lah. She is the most flowery writer in my within the compound of my research student. So she's already finish her studies, so I think it is safe enough to show you all what would be her flair of writing here, so that maybe it can be good example for you all to emulate from. Yeah, okay, sharing is caring. Okay, so here adalah her way on how to convey her unit of analysis and why she did so. Okay, so for this research, okay, dia nak examine the relationship on the framework, and then she stated the unit analysis would be gathered from customers of private hospital listed by MOH, okay, Ministry of Health in Malaysia, okay, would serve as the unit analysis for this research. Okay, if you were to see here, she stated the customers. So the customers adalah terdiri daripada individuals. So she refused. At first, she stated the individual. She said, can I just simply state that the customers of private hospital is okay if you want to state that way. But you shall have to be very, very consistent in doing so. So this is her take on things, take on writing, on how she convey what would be her choice of unit of analysis with. So you nampak tak, kalau ikutkan unit analysis itu satu ayat saja. Kalau mau menilai unit analisis individual, that's it. But in your write-up, you tak boleh simply letak satu sentence. You have to, have your own proper introduction, have to have your justification on why is it so. Then it would be good enough for you to not, for the plagiarism part, not to touch quite, not to give you high percentage on this particular heading, particular topic. All right. Okay. So I think that will be all. For I got some more chapter that I want to show you, but I think maybe during next session we can go for that. I can show you a much longer example and also a variety of example that we can share upon when it comes to the next topic as well. Okay. So any questions apa kalau nak tanya? Kalau mau bertanya. I think semua sudah hungry, Dr. Rita.
Any questions, students?
Or you can write to me, you can message to your dosen and boleh memberitahu saya, tidak ada masalah. Kalau rasa perlu, malu atau malu untuk bertanya berhadapan, okay, tak ada masalah. My student also used to do that. Tak ada masalah.
Okay.
Okay. So kalau tiada soalan, I think we postpone our session today. We shall continue for our next session. I think we shall not decide yet, Dr. Rita, on the next session will be. Maybe kita ada separate discussion on our own on that. So kalau tidak ada apa-apa, saya sudahi di sini dahulu dan kita akan berjumpa for our next session for next topic as well. Okay.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nora.
Thank you very much for participating.
Okay.
Kalau ada kekurangan di mana-mana itu saya minta maaf. Kita mungkin boleh menambah baik nanti di sesi yang seterusnya. Pada kemungkinan dalam masa terdekat ya Ibu Rita.
Ya, nanti Dr. Nora boleh pilih lagi. Oh ya, udah pilih ya.
Boleh.
Itu yang mana yang mau di-explain ya. Okay.
Ya, insyaAllah yang mau bertanya tentang topik yang kalau kita sudah go for next topic tapi mau bertanya topik yang sebelumnya tak ada masalah, boleh saja. Okay.
Okay.
Alright. Ya, kita sharing sama-sama. Okay, I think itu saja sampai setakat ini. Kita berjumpa lagi insyaAllah. Selamat berbuka puasa.
Okay, kalau ibu-ibu mau bersiap-siap untuk ke dapur dulu setelah ini.
Ya, benar.
Ya, Dr. Nora ya. Atau Dr. Nora udah beli ini something for
sudah
breaking the fast?
Betul. Sudah membeli. Hari ini beli-belian saja.
Iya. Okay.
Maybe besok lah baru saya fikir untuk memasak pula. Sometimes only. Today is the first day of semester kan? Jadi tidak sempat. Tidak sempat, Dr. Rita.
Ya. Oh iya, nanti PowerPoint-nya di-share ke
nanti saya. Share. Saya akan share. Kalau perlu saya share untuk PowerPoint tambahan pun boleh, ada juga. Boleh di-share sekali. Okey, terima kasih semua. Assalamualaikum. Terima kasih Dr. Rita.
Amin ya. Kita akhiri
Assalamualaikum.
ya.
Kita berjumpa lagi.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Saya juga izin live ya.
Alhamdulillah. Okey, kita jumpa lagi insyaAllah.